Good morning. Welcome to It's Your Life. How are you doing this morning?
Good. You're bright and cheery this morning.
I've been up early.
Well, today we are talking about environmental wellness. So it's on our wellness series, on the Wellness Wheel. So if you're just tuning in, we've been talking about different parts of wellness.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, what have we covered so far? Mental health.
Mental, physical,
spiritual.
Spiritual.
Those are the three. This is our fourth week on it, and we're talking about environmental. So just a little definition about environmental. It's on our post if you didn't see that already. But really is our relationship with our surroundings, with our planet, as well as where we live. So it's our planet and nature and our surroundings where we live. So we're going to talk about how that improves our wellness when we have a good balance in that. So.
Yes, and ironically, the timing of this is interesting because, and it's why I wore pink today, but 14 years ago today, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I did the BRCA test. It wasn't genetic. I'm not a smoker. We trying to determine what it was that caused it. And my gut feeling, and a lot of other people, because there were numerous people, it was weird. There was like 3 or 4 people in my street that had breast cancer within 5 years of each other.
Wow.
We wondered if it wasn't environmental.
Interesting.
Was it something in the water? Was it something, at the time we all lived on a golf course? Was it some chemical they were spraying? Was it something in the irrigation system? But it was interesting that 3 or 4 of us ended up with breast cancer on the same street.
Wow.
So, yeah, I really do think that environmentally it was something. I don't know what, because I, was actually the healthiest of my life when I got diagnosed. So I was in shock. I had been going to the gym 6 days a week, weight training 3 or 4 days a week, serious cardio. I had a workout partner. She and I were faithful for about 1.5 years. And then boom, I get that diagnosis. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So environment, it's, it could be, you got to look at everything, your immediate surroundings. Are you sitting in a pile of clutter, or environmentally, are you in an area where there's some toxic chemicals in the irrigation or in the air? Or it's such a broad topic.
It is. It is broad, but you're right. Looking at those factors, especially if you're battling an illness, or if you're not feeling well, if you're wondering why I can't get rid of this nagging, allergy or something, it could be something that's in your environment. I've heard that's happened with people where they work, where the air quality isn't good in the system, and then everyone's getting sick all the time. So again, those things are key because if we don't feel well, we can't make change in our life that we want to if we're always feeling yucky or we're in pain. So it's good to be able to identify it. So you never really had a final answer on that, though. You didn't
never had a final answer. Because my research brain, it's like I got to find out why, and the doctors couldn't figure out why. But for me, it came down to 2 possibilities. Either, yes, maybe there was something in the irrigation system there, or in the air quality from stuff they put on the golf course. I don't know. My other thought was, oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, Bella or Snowflake have something to say.
There's something noisy in their environment, and they're barking at it.
It's true.
I'm just going to let them out so they'll be quiet.
Okay.
Okay, go. Just go. Anyway, but my other thought was, and this is more of a health related. At that time, like I said, I was working out like a crazy person. I was low body fat percentage. I was toned. I was working out with a trainer all the time. But one thing I did that I never did before was I consumed these protein shakes on a daily basis, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. I'm so sorry. Girls. Hey. Shh. They don't see my sign on my door. It says in session.
I
Anyway,
like how you wheeled there and wheeled back.
I love my wheelchair. But those protein shakes, the protein powder I was using had sugar substitutes in it. And that's something, I mean, that we can talk about that on another segment maybe sometime, but read ingredients of what you're putting in your body. Oh, now they want back in. Because there's a lot of chemicals in those things. And okay, are we done barking at everybody? There's a lot of chemicals, and I actually, in reading that label of the one I was using, the sugar, I can't remember exactly what the sugar substitute was. It was, sucralose, or I think it was sucralose. I started doing research on that, and I actually got a book called Sweet Deception.
Mm-hmm. I have that one. It's in my bookshelf.
And after I read that, like I don't like sugar substitutes. If it's got it in there, I don't drink it. I don't buy it. On occasion, I end up with something in it, but because I'm out and about or someone offers me something and I can taste it. Mm-hmm. It just has a bad taste. But the premise behind that is it's a chemical. Our bodies are not designed to process the chemicals. Eventually, the chemical breaks down our cellular wall, causes disease, such as cancer. Mm-hmm. So I think for that year and a half, I was working out so hard. Probably 2 or 3 times a day, I was drinking those shakes. And I thought, wow, maybe that was the culprit. So
highly possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had a dear friend years ago, the same thing. We're kind of off topic, but it's kind of important too, because it is part of the environment. It's kind of on topic and off topic. He was diagnosed with glioblastoma, I think it was called, in his brain. And he used to drink those diet sodas continuously all day long. Mm. And that was my first thought too, because he only lasted 3 months after that, because it's so aggressive. Even though they went and did surgery, it was coming back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, being your environment and what's around you can definitely affect your health and your wellness.
Yes.
And so I guess more on the wellness side, like how to balance things. I know we do when we start working with a client, we really talk about clearing clutter. And then sometimes it's clutter in their environment. Sometimes it's clutter in their mind. Sometimes it's clutter in their schedule. It's where do they need to remove things and make space to be able to put in new things. And I found this adorable quote. It sounds, I'm not even going to tell you the author of this yet and see if you can guess. Okay. Because when I read it, I was like, this so much sounds like him, because he's a very famous author. He says, organization is what you do before you do something, so that when you do it, it is not all mixed up.
I love it, but who wrote that?
Okay, so he's a children's author. I'll give you a little clue.
Oh, okay.
And he wrote about a teddy bear that loves honey.
Oh, Schultz what's his name that wrote the whole Winnie the Pooh series?
Winnie the Pooh, yeah, Winnie the Pooh. It's A.A. Milne.
Okay, I didn't know his name. Okay.
Yeah, I can't say I honestly remembered his name when I looked him up. I was like, oh yeah, and that sounds just like him, right? Organization is what you do before you do something, so that when you do it, it's not all mixed up.
I love it.
So that's kind of what we're talking about is, I mean, when we're organizing our environment, right? If you want to do something new, if you're all mixed up in your space, you got to get organized first so that you can do that. And then you can actually have a clear mind in how you're moving forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so true. Like, I mean, for OCD people, anyone out there OCD? I have to, at night before I go to bed, I have to get my desk organized and structured for the next day, because if I wake up and it's all scattered everywhere, I just, it stresses me out already, So, yeah.
So one thing I learned in that respect with my office anyway, one thing I put into practice actually when I left teaching and went into coaching was that everything has a place. So when I'm finished with it, it goes back to where it was, so that I'm not feeling like that in my office. But this is about the only place I really have any control over. With the rest of the house, like the kitchen is my main thing. When people leave clutter in the kitchen and I go to sleep, and I've cleaned it up, and then I wake up and it's like, what happened while I was sleeping? So everyone in the house knows that's my one pet peeve is, if you're going to do something after I go to sleep, please
Clean the
just clean it
kitchen.
up. Because I don't want to come in, wake up in the morning and see dishes in the sink, because I like you, I like to start with a clean space. I go, okay, now where am I going with my day? Yeah.
So physical environment, yes, definitely is important to keep that organized and clear of the clutter. And not everybody is like that. Not everybody likes a clean environment, but those who don't pay attention to it and that don't clear the clutter, and I challenge you just to give it a try. Take a room or take a desk or a drawer or counter or something one at a time and just declutter it. Get rid of the stuff you don't need. If you don't need it, you don't need it. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Don't keep it there for a rainy day, whatever it may be. There's people that just keep stuff and hoard stuff and keep the clutter. But I just challenge you, just take one section that you function in on a daily basis, completely declutter it, get it clear, and see how much more productive you might be, or how, much easier your day may go, or how peaceful you may feel because it's a nice environment.
Yeah, I think peaceful and more comfort and less anxiety are the things that we've noticed ourselves, as well as the people that we work with. So, we've got someone tuning in. You have to tell us who it is, because it doesn't have a name. Good morning, ladies. Good morning.
Yes. Clearing the clutter is essential to my calmness. Yes.
Oh, so a calmness is another good word, right?
Yeah.
So those are things that we definitely notice when we clear our space.
Yes.
So can we move into our calendar a little bit? Because I think that's an area of our environment that I think a lot of people are challenged with. And I know you have actually done some really cool things the last few months in trying to organize your calendar. And you've had to shift it many times because your schedules kind of change with new things that you've taken on, or,
Yes. And this is something I have struggled with, but I have a wonderful coach that has coached me through it.
But you're also willing to keep trying to adapt it to make it better for you. And I think that's key, is that it's flexible. It's fluid.
Yes.
Okay,
yes. And something about a calendar, and I've always said this, like, it is a living, breathing document.
Yeah.
So whether you use a hard calendar like this,
or your phone,
right way, there we go, or you use it on your phone, it is constantly changing. So, and a calendar changes at a rapid pace, where we may not be the type of person where we can handle a rapid pace event or topic or something. Sometimes it may cause us anxiety because it's constantly changing. But if you can lay it out, like I Sunday night, I've started laying it out like for my whole week. I know it might look messy because I've changed a few things, but I use some highlighters. Like, pink is work stuff. Blue is personal stuff. The green is exercise. There's not enough green on here yet, but I'm working on it. And, the to-do things I circle. So for my OCD brain, again, it's more organized for me. Like, I know every day I want to have something blue on there because mental health is very important. And that's my prayer and meditation. My goal is to get something green on at least 5 days a week, because I know that's exercise and I need that for my physical health.
Which also helps your mental health.
Which helps, yes. And the work and everything. And making sure also that I have it balanced out. And interesting enough, I mean, I do have a lot on my plate as far as responsibilities and commitments I've made, work-wise and stuff. I do a few other things outside of the coaching, but this morning, my daily devotional said it was all about fulfilling your purpose and sticking with what it is, your God-given talent, whatever that might be.
Love it.
And it came clear to me this morning of what I need to get rid of. Because, you're going to know, like for me, for coaching, doing this with you, Amy, and just this whole path we're on, it fills me, it's fulfilling. And I know what we're doing is helping people. And that's, we're we both want to help people. We're educators, we're nurturers, we're, caregiver type. So this is the perfect venue for us and the perfect career for us. But it made me realize this morning, okay, you know what? The other stuff that's not me, that I really struggle with or I don't really enjoy, I need to declutter that out of my schedule and I need to get rid of it. So,
but it can be gradual too. You can even set short-term goals. Okay, now we're going to try to shift so that there's more of this and less of this. So we're not even implying that you need to like just get rid of everything at once, because that could be overwhelming.
Right.
And it may not be feasible either, especially if it's like with you and some of your schedule things, it has to be kind of in steps, knowing that.
Yeah, like maybe this time next year, I want to be rid of this and be doing more of this.
Exactly.
So
you can be pointing in that direction and knowing what you need to do. And again, those small steps lead you in the right direction.
Right. And then learning to set my boundaries to get to where I need to be or want to be or feel like it's right for me to be. So, the calendar, it's an environmental thing too, but it constantly changes, but have it there. Again, for me, I have to have it in front of me. I like having it in front of me. I carry this everywhere I go. I know it's big, but it's,
but it's working for you. So like you said, there's options, whatever, I do use a paper calendar. I like having it on my desk. I don't necessarily take it with me. But I put things in my phone too, so that I can see it on the computer and it's with me when I'm out somewhere. So I kind of use both.
Yeah.
And these are more like appointments. These are like things that, either people are coming to the house or I'm supposed to be somewhere.
Right.
The other things are more like things that when I'm here, I want to make sure that I'm making time for when I actually do morning and evening. Like I do an AM plan of, okay, what things office-wise am I going to do in the morning? What things office am I going to do in the evening or afternoon? I don't do anything in the evening. I'm useless in the evening. My brain, I always say from noon on, it's just a gradual progression of, 4 o'clock, I'm wide awake. Okay, I'm ready to go. But evening is not my best time at all. But again, trying to find what works for you, I think, is the point. And
that's the key.
Yeah.
You just said it. You got to find what works for you. And, for me, I come alive at night and I start multitasking and then I'm up till midnight and then I'm exhausted in the morning because I didn't get enough sleep. But and again, I have a great coach that said, what are you going to change? What are you going to do to change that? And like, okay, maybe I need to shut it down at a certain time. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to set myself an alarm.
Yeah.
So I have an alarm at 6 o'clock that goes off that says, shut it down.
So fun story. I'm not sure who's tuning in, but fun story on this. Kelly and I were actually talking the other night. I guess it was like 4:30 or 5 we were talking. And after 6 o'clock, I think we were still on the phone or on the FaceTime. And your alarm went off and you're like, I'm supposed to be shutting it down. Oh, well, you better go now because I don't want to be the cause of you not shutting down. So that was kind of cute though.
But something along the lines of that calendar. Like me setting that 6 o'clock alarm from that point so that I, don't keep working in my work environment. I have to literally step away from that environment. Okay. I got to get away from the desk. I've got to leave it all there. Yesterday, and some days I fail. Sometimes I keep working. But like last night, I alarm went off. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Light off. I went in the kitchen. I cooked dinner. My neighbor brought over chocolate chip cookies.
Nice neighbor.
Oh my gosh, I know. For moving in the neighborhood, she goes, I'm a little late, but she was so cute. But then I knew I had to keep busy with other things to keep me from coming back in here. So guess what I did last night?
What?
I made my first batch of kombucha.
Yay! How do you think you did it?
I think I did okay.
Yeah?
We'll see in 7 days. What is it? 7 to 10 days?
Yeah, usually 7 to 10. I think sometimes when the SCOBY is like really hungry, it can ferment faster.
Okay.
So that kind of depends on it. That SCOBY might have been hungry though, because you hadn't used it recently. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it was my first batch. But what I ended up doing, I ordered a kit online that
Yep.
had the jar and then the strainer and the tea thing. And
Oh,
it
wow,
actually
fancy.
came with tea and organic sugar. So I followed their directions and we'll
Perfect.
see how it turns out. But I have another jar coming I'm gonna use and try it a different way and
Oh,
see
it's
about that.
all about the same though. The main thing I found is you've got to make sure that the tea cools before you put the SCOBY in,
Right.
because it's just
Okay.
not good for the SCOBY to be in hot tea.
Okay. Well, this jar had a thermometer on
So
it,
perfect.
and it tells you it has to be within a certain degree. And I was right in
Yeah.
the center. I'm like, yes,
I don't have that. I just make sure it's like really cool. Like it's not
cool.
warm. I can put it in my glass jar without it feeling like it's too hot. And
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Awesome.
again, kind of goes back to the environment of my
Mhm.
evening. I still need to be physically doing something. I'm just not one to sit down and watch TV. I get antsy. So I started doing stuff that I enjoy doing, cooking,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I've got this SCOBY Amy gave me and I've got this kit. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it. So it was something I enjoyed experimenting with. Chance wasn't sure what I was doing because I had all this stuff laying on the table. He was like, what? You got a science experiment going on or something?
It's basically
He said, are you into some kind of witchcraft, making a witchcraft brew? That's
yeah.
what he called it, a witchcraft brew. I'm like, not a witchcraft brew. But it was something enjoyable for me, and I just felt at calm in my environment at the time. So
Yeah, there's that word again. The
I know,
call.
yeah.
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 Yeah. I
So
think the thing I want to do next, since you just did something new in yours, is I am looking to do some painting.
mm,
But nothing major. Like I'm not going to take on the entire living room, kitchen area, but I think I'm just going to work on my bathroom and try to create my bathroom to be a little bit more of a calm, peaceful environment. It's just very basic. There's
mhm.
nothing, not really any color to it. It's the way it was when we moved in, essentially. Um, so I've already got some ideas. I've been thinking about how I want to do it, and it's not going to be anything
Right.
extravagant, but it's something I can do like in pieces of time. I can maybe focus on one wall one day, and then, so it's not going to upset my whole world and create this chaos on my environment either. It's just going to be a little bit at a time. Because that's important
Right.
too. I think when things are chaotic around here, that's what we're always hesitant to do new things to the house, because it's like, oh my gosh, to live with stuff like that, it's like it overwhelms us, you
Yes.
know. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do. But I'm thinking more like, somewhere between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'll probably start doing that just a little bit.
Perfect.
And I'm not going to rush anything. I'm going to do that bathroom, then I'll do one of the other bathrooms, and I'll just kind of go a little bit of time with the smaller rooms, kind of just
Good.
making it, freshening it up.
Yeah, and that's what will that do for you, you think, when you get that all done?
Well, I think particularly my bathroom, I'm feeling like I'm going to enjoy being in there a little bit more than I am now. I mean, it's not like it's anything special right now. It does have a nice tub with the, jacuzzi jets things
Mhm.
in there. But I just think if I can create a nicer space, it might even be even nicer for me to go in there and lay down and relax. Plus,
Yeah.
I love color. And it's like when we bought the house, there was no color in the house. Everything was
Mhm.
like that plain color everywhere.
Yeah.
So I did other rooms, like you can see this room, my office. I did this. I did just the rooms, like our bedroom, this room, the guest room, but I didn't do anything else. So it's time.
It's time, yeah.
It's time.
And a change like that, there's decluttering, there's, moving from one room to the next. But when you change the appearance of a room, that creates a whole new environment, a whole new feeling. You think about I'm thinking about your bathroom, you're doing, if you're painting it, it's probably going to be something calming and you
Mhm.
know, a color that makes you feel good. So
Yeah,
think about walking into a spa. What's the
right.
first thing you notice? You smell lavender and you
Yep.
instantly you're kind of like, ah, I'm in a spa.
Yes. Yeah. That's
you
a good
know?
point.
hmm
Yeah.
You should get a little, like one of those diffusers with some lavender oil in there.
Yeah, I have one that's I keep in the living room, but it's not a bad idea to have one in there that I could just go in, especially when or just take that one in there when I'm actually going to go in there and use the
Yeah.
space for longer. And then my outside, I mean, I've been working on my outside environment for the last almost 2 years.
Yes, you have, and it looks amazing.
And it's kind of finally coming to fruition where I can kind of see, okay, what I could visualize with where I wanted flower gardens and different plants and trees. It's all kind of looking like I'm wanted it to, and I can actually see, it's going to be, well, it is a nice thing, but I think it's becoming more what I envisioned. So
Awesome.
it does make a difference to look out there and go, oh yeah, look at that. That's what I was thinking, Yeah. So what is today? We should probably tell people what's today's National Day.
Yes. You know what it is today?
What?
National or international, actually. Chocolate Day.
Oh my goodness.
I don't have any chocolate to show or eat or anything, but
that's okay.
I'm trying not to. I went to the store yesterday and Chance says, Mom, don't buy any junk food. I'm like, I can't get any brownie brittle or no.
What a nice son he is. I love it.
He's very health conscious.
Yeah. Well, he's also supportive too. He's encouraging you on your journey. Yeah. Okay. So National Chocolate Day. So, find your chocolate and enjoy it today. Celebrate the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm heading out of town on Friday. I'm going to be gone for a week. And Kelly and I are going to still try to figure out how we can meet next week. We're going to be in a different time zone. So a lot depends on where I'm at and how I can get online easily there. But I think I will be able to. It'll be a little earlier. It'll be 7 there.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're an early riser.
And that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking before we get into the day, we should still be able to do it. But you and I will communicate then and let people know. We like to stay on track even when we're not in town. So I would like to do that. That's my plan.
Nice.
To make it happen. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, safe travels. That sounds
yes, I'm excited. I'll be sharing some pictures online of our journey.
Good.
Arizona and Southern California are the 2 places. So just for a week. So.
Oh, I hope it's nowhere near those fires.
No, it's way down in South Palm Springs. Okay. Yeah. Joshua Tree National Park is nearby, though. I'm hoping we're going to go there and do some hiking. Never been.
Nice. Oh, very nice. Enjoy.
Yeah.
That'll be a wonderful environment to be in.
Well, yeah. Speaking of environment, that's what we like to go where it's different than where we live, right? To go do hiking and be outdoors in a different space. So that's kind of how we like to travel. Hopefully we'll hike when we're in Arizona too. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy.
Thank you. Well, I hope everybody has a fabulous day and look around your environment and really think about, where, like Kelly said, what clutter could you clear? Or how could you improve it to make it more enjoyable for you or cleaner? Yeah. Cleaner is important. Yeah.
Clean is very important.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a fabulous day. And remember,
it's your life.